Hi, hello. Welcome, Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us as we rock and roll. It is terrific Tuesday. Brandon, the vacation man, is back. I know he's leaving again one day this week. By the way, you good for Thursday? Because I'm
yes.
Yeah, he wants to take off. I think he wants to get away from me. Anyway, by the way, if you want to check us out, Streamlining, that's me at Facebook and Moon Griffon. I had the sweat on yesterday. I took it off, folks, a little lighter color. And I just want to let you, kind of matching my hair. My hair is gray, some days turning blue. But check us out at Moon Griffon. Brian, you're right about me. I figured you really hit something on me, and I never realized it.
What?
Damn, I laugh at myself.
I know. The best time when you're laughing is when you're in the middle of a workout and you're in the middle of your final set working out, and then you remember me giving you a hard time.
I know, and then I dropped the weight on me. By the way, Florida voters sue for recount now. This is Trump's the president. He's going to be the president. By the way, there was a electoral whoever's one of these people that vote electoral college
in Texas.
Yeah, and he's tripping out. Hey, voting for Trump. I mean, all this stuff.
He said Trump shows every day why he's not qualified to be president. Really? Is it him helping to keep jobs in here? That's unqualified.
I bet this guy is a bona fide idiot. I just bet he is. Idiots work their way in things, and he's an idiot. We're going to sue the recount. Look, they were check this out, Brandon. Count every vote is what they shouting at the Pennsylvania recount supporters at the state capitol. Count every, Brandon, the votes have all been counted. Every vote was accounted and certified, and they can't do nothing about it in Pennsylvania because on November 21st, if you were going to protest, you had to do it. And they didn't start protesting until sometime in December. So shame on you, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Because they want a $1 million bond before they do any kind of recount. And Brandon, I don't blame them. You're talking about a lot of money. You're talking about a total scam from the left. And I tell you something else. Hillary Clinton's behind all this. The left is behind this, man. And it means nothing. They want to illegitimize Trump as much as they can. And that's why Trump needs to dig his heels in even more. Trump says cancel order on new Boeing Air Force One. We don't need a new one. You know, but this is what they're doing, folks. The nuts out there, and they're always to the left. They're always the people that government can use. They're people with nothing to do and all day to do it in. There's no way I could go spend time doing that. And you people out there listening to this program can, unless you're retired. You might want to do that, but I wouldn't waste my retired years doing that. I mean, it's got to be young people, nutted up, people that are easily persuaded. And, wait till I got some man-made global warming predictions. I got to get to those, folks. I made this, and this was in the Advocate today. Of course, I'm not surprised by John George newspaper anymore. But just going back to this, one of the electors, I'm not voting for Trump. And look, just stand up and be proud. You know, sometimes, folks, you can shut up and show your ignorance. But this guy's showing his ignorance all the way around. Florida, how big? He won Florida in a big margin. He won Pennsylvania by 70,000+ votes. Nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change in Michigan with 11,000 votes. You know, in Wisconsin, the first day they started recounting, they found one extra vote for Hillary.
They found 5 extra votes in one of the other states a few minutes ago. Big whopping 5. Hillary.
Oh, go!
Big 5.
That's right, boy. I tell you what, that's going to knock out that 11,000 pretty quick. It's just a. Watch them, folks. Watch them nut up. These people really, and I'm being honest, I'm being nice. What do I usually say? I'm not being ugly, I'm being honest. All these people ought to denounce the United States of America and go to the perfect country. I didn't leave when Obama became president. I know he was going to put a Marxist state on this republic we lived in. I wasn't going to leave if Hillary won a presidential. I was going to accept that God's judgment was on us, and I was going to move forward. But these people can't accept anything because they've been lied to since they've been little. The propaganda coming out the school systems, especially universities. And you start believing all this stuff. The reason things may have done a big change about it is because the real people that go to work every day to have to feed their families, they want jobs, they want to be able to go to church and not be bothered. They want to be able to live the dream that they call American dream. The American dream is different for everybody. It's different from Brandon and for me. You know, age difference will make it different for us. I've already had children. He hadn't. By the way, I've offered 2 of them. He won't take them. I've offered 2 of the 4. I mean, God have mercy.
I mean,
I was willing to give you 2.
I mean, they're great kids, but, got plans for some of our own.
Yeah, I know. I'm just offering you a couple to help a brother out. That's all. That's all. And anyway, but you have a different dream. People live different than I live, and which is a big dream. Some people want to retire at 50 years old, and they've made it. Some want to never have children, do what they want to do. That's their choice. Some want to have 20 kids, 10 kids, 5 kids. That's their choice. Some want to work till they're 95. Nothing wrong with that. But the American dream for the left, if you really look at what they do, is to control every life except for dope, alcohol, and sex and abortion. They want to control everything else. Great story is this climate change, man-made global warming. I saw Al Gore went meet with Trump. I pray Trump doesn't give in on this. It's a hoax. It's a big. Let me give you an example. Headlines in a Baton Rouge article today. It was a Washington AP story, but I got it out of the Advocate. Climate study predicts. Brandon, you ought to see it. Brandon, you got my Facebook on right now?
It's on.
No, I mean, you got it over there? I just like,
yes.
Do I look like
we've got a couple comments.
But do I look like a professional? Climate study predicts scary increase in extreme downpours, like one that flies out. This is Banana Foster crazy. But listen to what they're saying. Extreme downpours, like those that flooded Louisiana, Houston, and West Virginia earlier this year, will happen nearly 3 times as often in the United States by the end of the century. Brandon, the end of the century is the year 2100. Brandon, they can't get the weather right the next day. But here's the funny thing. When you make a prediction about the year 2100, who's going to be living to remember you made the prediction that won't come true? Al Gore and them were predicted 20 years ago we were going to be in this big ice age. And now all of a sudden they went to global warming. Man-made, of course by you and me. I mean, think about this. They're telling us what happened nearly 3 times as often by the year 2100. Brandon, remember when Katrina came through and Rita came through? We were going to have the worst hurricanes. They were going to get worse and worse. We hadn't even hardly had one. I don't think there's been one in the Gulf, 10 years? I don't remember. But they hadn't really had any big hurricanes. Sandy Hook took it. Was it Sandy Hook? No. They had one up in the Northeast. I forget which one that was. But the bottom line is...
You're talking about in New Jersey?
Yeah. But the bottom line is, Brandon, down here, I mean, it's been a long time, and they're not getting worse, and they're not getting more, and we don't have...
Superstorm Sandy.
Yeah, Superstorm Sandy. Mm-hmm. So the hurricanes hadn't hit. Are they going to hit again? Absolutely. If you got rid of all the people in the United States of America, we just made this thing one big holy roller for the left. And nobody lived here. Nobody. They didn't build any more cement. There was not a gas car ever used again. There was no more cows farting. Excuse me. They believe cow farts are causing man-made global warming. We could stop that. Actually, Jerry Moonbeam Brown, no kin to me. Let me ask you people a serious question. If there was, everybody had to leave the United States of America, and we just went wherever we wanted to go, but there was not a living person in the United States of America, how many people think there would never be a hurricane hit here? How many people think there'd never be a flood again? How many people think there'll never be a drought again? And remember, nobody's here. No man-made global warming. That's the ignorance of the argument that they're trying to make. Now they're going to tell us about 2100. I mean, that'd be like me predicting, Brandon, my great-great-grandson, Brandon, he's going to be the president of the United States in the year 2100. I'm predicting that now, and I tell you what, I got as much proof that that's going to happen as they have that man-made global warming is going to destroy the planet and storms are going to be 3 times worse. The hurricanes hadn't gotten any worse, and they told us, hey, here it is. These big hurricanes are coming in here, and boy, I tell you what, we are gone. Hadn't happened. Scientists, let me go back to this AP story. Scientists have long pointed out that warm air holds more moisture, so man-made climate change, used to be man-made global warming, I had to change that name because it was embarrassing when it's snowing every time they had a meeting, will increase the frequency of extreme downpours. That increase has already started, they say, but new work with much stronger computer simulations show just how bad it would get and where. 500 years, we had it from Foster Campbell, Bananas Foster. We got it. We got man-made global warming. We had floods like that 500 years in Central and Denham Springs. Bananas, there wasn't a house built in Central and Denham Springs probably 500 years ago. But don't tell Bananas Foster that. Don't let the facts get in the way of the truth. Here's another one. High-resolution computer simulations about 25 times better now than they used to be. So we're predicting the year 2100. I'll be honest with you. I don't know about y'all, but I'm not going to be here. Okay, I'm predicting. Hey, I'm predicting I won't be here. Who's got a closer prediction on what's happening, them or me? But I am predicting that my great-great-grandson will be president of the United States by then. Go ahead. What are you laughing at? You're wrong to laugh at that. I'm telling you, based on the evidence that the Griffons have not been president yet, we have a great shot at that. Why can't I make the predictions? Previous projections haven't been as detailed because it could not take into consideration small-scale weather events like thunderstorms. Dude, let me tell you something. This past year, we had 2 baseball games in 1 week, Brandon. You ready? Let me tell you what technology did. Used to, when you played youth baseball, you know what happened? You'd show up for the game, no matter if they were predicting rain or not, and then if it rained on the field too much, they'd send you home. I remember sitting in dugouts, and the parents would be in the cars. 2 times last year, we went to, I'm not going to say where, we went to play baseball games during the week. And Brandon, they canceled the baseball games, not once, but twice. And it never dropped a 1/10 of an inch of rain on the park. You know why? They based everything on weather reports and the weather map, and what it was showing was going to happen in an hour or two, and it never happened, and we missed baseball games. But they're going to tell me what the year 2100 is going to be like. This is a hoax. These people are nuts, and I pray to God Trump don't listen to the quack jobs of the left. More to come, a lot more to come. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. Hi, y'all. Welcome, Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline if you'd like to be part of the Moon Griffon Show. You said some comments are coming in. You can check us out Facebook streaming on the Moon Griffon Show.
Yeah, let's see what we got here.
Messing with my hair today or my shirt? Which one they don't like?
Well, no. Well, actually, Mary says you look very professional, Moon. Must be trying to get some of them free pecans, huh, Mary?
She must have been watching when the thing was off.
Let's see. What else we got? I like that you play some Alice Cooper. I'm a transplant from Montana, and I'm so glad that I found your show. Between Rush Limbaugh and you, I'm getting smarter and smarter.
Oh, my God. Yeah, what they doing? Listen to me going down. Let me go find out what the real truth is.
All right, now, for all of the compliments, we got to get like a balance here.
Absolutely.
So twice as many insults as we get compliments.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're looking for insults. That's Brandon, you know me. Bring them on, baby, because I don't care, because I insult my own self half the time. All right. One other thing on this study predicts scary increases by 2100, of course. Study lead Andres Prion, scientist of the National Center for Atmosphere Research, by the way, makes his money off government. As long as they can keep this thing going, the more money's going to be poured into them. So the entire U.S. will average a 180% increase in these types of downpours by 2100. 180% increase. How in the hell did they know that? I was telling you about the baseball game. We missed 2 baseball games last year because they were going by, quote, Doppler radar or the Weather Channel, and it showed a thunder shower that was coming up on the baseball parks, and they canceled the game, and they never got one drop of water. One drop of water. And you mean to tell me we're going to predict the year 2100? Folks, it's a sham. This is a hoax. This is a joke. Somebody sent me something the other day. Here's the facts on global warming. I just laughed and said, if you want to be bummed up by ignorant information, you read that stuff. Listen, the Midwest and parts of the West Coast are expected to see the smallest increase. You know why, Brandon? West Coast is all in with man-made global warming. They're going to start telling you how great it is over there, and they don't ever get anything because they've been taking care of this. I'll say it again. If the United States of America, everybody had to leave, there was not a car, a gas well, or no cows farting. My question is, would there be any more storms ever hit the United States of America? And the answer, of course they would be. Of course there would be hurricanes and tornadoes, and of course there would be weather that would happen on this planet. And that's all you got to ask. You can have common sense to this craziness. All right, last thing, previous projections haven't been as detailed because they could not take into consideration small-scale weather events like thunderstorms. The new computer simulation can. Well, then how come we canceled 2 baseball games when we had this thunderstorms saying they were coming and they never hit? See, Brandon, I think you ought to baseball games, you ought to go to the park. If it's not storming already, you go to the park and see what happens. He looked at the type of thunderstorms that are the top 1/2 of 1% of rainmakers. I mean, just ignorance over and this is the thing. Once as the press tried to give you all this information, how great Hillary was, and it was a lie. Beat up on Trump, it was a lie. So we're gonna believe this now. This you talk about control America. They want you to have maybe one vehicle, and they want that to be an electric car. They want you to have less than one kid. How you do that? Well, somebody has one, another family has none. It's average of less than one kid. Okay? They don't want you to use any oil products, no gas. Okay? They want you not to eat any meat. Remember, control. They want you to eat nothing but homegrown vegetables. Okay? They want you to make $15 an hour. That seems to be the new thing. Nobody should make over $15 an hour. Okay? They want to control your life. Why you think Venezuela, Cuba, Russia, China, you can go to all these world countries and you'll find out real quick why they stay depressed and uneducated. Because they've bought into crap like this. This is pure fake. You ever heard of fake news, Brandon? This is fake science. Total. Al Gore's a billionaire over fake science. Go find out the people pushing this stuff. You'll find out they're multi-billionaires. The fake is in. Not just fake news, fake man-made global warming. And look, for you people that still believe this is possible, there's so many articles to read how this is a joke. We're going to now predict what's going to happen with weather in the year 2100. And the way we're going to stop it is for you and me to live like they want us to live. Okay? Just live like they want us to live. Controlled. Every time I read it, I can't help myself. I just can't help myself but to laugh at that much ignorance in one country. We better keep fighting it. He needs to get us out of all this stuff. The hoax. Hey, if you pull the United States out and the money and the power, this thing dies. And by the way, that was not a cow. We got to take a break. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. We'll be right back. Hi, y'all. Welcome back. First time I ever sung on
if I live known,
Facebook.
If I'd have known that you would have done that, I'd have played something else in that place. Golly.
Hi, y'all. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show, 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. If you'd like to be part of the Moon Griffon Show, it's your opportunity to be a voice. That commercial, now you people that were statewide, didn't hear this, but I've been following the 3rd Congressional District pretty hard because of the scoundrel that's been running all the negative ads. I saw a new ad today. Clay Higgins just ran a radio ad, all positive. All positive. Scott Angel and his pack been running negative hate ads. There'll be people around the state's not seeing it, but from Calcasieu over to Lafayette and beyond, all they've been watching is Angel's hate ads. And the man he's beating up, the guy he's making up stuff about, the guy that they set up something for them to have an issue, he just keeps running positive stuff. And I find that refreshing. And yet, I saw a commercial this morning. And another Angel commercial. By the way, Higgins had a pep rally last night. And Scott's having another fundraiser. It only costs $5,400 a couple or $2,700 for a single person to attend. He's still trying to raise money. I saw a figure the other day, $1.5 million to $280,000. And Brandon, it's all been negative. Absolutely everything's been negative. Think, I've been in office. Angel's been in office for 30 years. Not one positive commercial. Not one commercial bragging about something he's done. None. Zero zilch. Timmy Teeple. Same effect that he had to listen to Teeple that I got to be nasty and ugly because I'm behind. Some people think he's way behind because the Higgins Trump people seem to be going vote and the Hillary Angel people seem not be excited about the election. And that's what's going on in this election in the 3rd Congressional District. I'm watching this commercial this morning, and I'm telling you, it was Angel finally ran something. He wasn't knifing Higgins to death. And what he ran was, let me give it to you. Man, they picking on me, and they watching it inside. They picking on me. And I don't understand why they picking on me. And they lying about me too. That's what the commercial was. You could see it in his eyes. Y'all please vote for me because they just picking on me. And I got it, Paul. I got it. And so that was the commercial. Now, one of the things in the commercial, besides him crying, and he's been doing all the negative, 100% of the ugly negative, and then here comes some pack that apparently supports Higgins, and they start messing with him, and he did the same thing what he did with Vitter, crying like a baby. Crybaby Angel's got to quit that. When you get in the big leagues, he needs to understand he doesn't need to cry anymore. It's okay. It's okay. Somebody pat him on the It's okay, Scotty. It's okay, Scotty. Little Scotty, it's okay. It's okay, Scotty. One of the things little crybaby Angel goes and says, little Scotty gets on there and says, and they keep saying, and let me tell you something. Clay Higgins hadn't defended anything. But I'm just going to tell you, when you start trying to defend, so I didn't vote in the Hillary primary. I voted in the Trump primary. I voted for Trump. And. Let me tell you about that spot. When they say he voted in the Democrat Hillary Clinton primary, that is true. He was a liberal. He still is a liberal Democrat, but he got to put a Republican on. Scott will be whatever he needs to be. If he needs to be Green Party, he'll be a Green Party. I'm telling you, he'll be anything he needs to be anytime he needs to be it. Now, what's funny is, you know what they're referring to? They're referring to his being a liberal Democrat when Hillary ran against Obama. If you go check the records, he voted in that primary because he was a liberal Democrat. Well, no, he is a liberal Democrat. So the question needs to be to Scott, hey, little Scotty, I know you're going to cry, and I don't want to hurt your feelings, but you can tell us, did you vote for Obama or did you vote for Hillary Clinton when you voted in that primary? But see, little Scotty, they're picking on me, mama. And you people listen to me. I'm picking on me. They're so ugly. 99.9% of the ugly ass were run by him, and it started with him. This reminds me of Neil Rouser and McAllister. Timmy Tebow ran both campaigns, and there's Scott's problem, and all it was negative. I met a guy last night that liked Scott a lot. Good friends with him. And but I mean, he said, I'm going to vote for Scott. And then the gentleman goes, you know, man, I got to tell you, I've been very disappointed in him and his ads. His ads have been so ugly and nasty and just nothing positive, nothing about his 30 years of service. I just can't believe he's running such a nasty campaign. Now, this is somebody who likes him, is going to vote for him. What do you think the rest of us are looking at? For him to get on, watch the early news, KATC, Brandon, and I'm watching little Scotty crying again, trying to come up with some funny thing. I'm leaving it in your hands. Well, if you leave it in your and if you left it in the people's hand, why do you have to be so ugly? And Higgins, Brandon, you followed it like I just hadn't seen Higgins hit him back. Only thing I've seen Higgins is to put some stuff on YouTube and go, I'm not getting in the muck and the smuck of a lifetime politician who helped, by the way, ran away from the sinkhole, helped Edwards, a liberal Democrat, become governor of our state. Okay? Those are facts. That's two things that he delivered on or didn't deliver on. He delivered on one, didn't deliver on the other one. Okay? And now he finds himself in the elite people in this area, in this state, are pulling for Scott. Just like the elite pulled for Hillary Clinton. I'm telling you, this is Hillary, Scott, and Trump, Higgins. This is what this race is. But him to get on and cry about they're attacking me. Little Scotty, the crybaby, is crying about being, think about it. He didn't beat up Higgins, threw stuff at Higgins, run over Higgins, threw him off the bus, run over him on the bus, threw him under the bus, spit on him, kicked him, threw knives at the man, shotguns at him. Never mind, that was Foster Campbell. He missed. He done everything he can to the man. And all a pack did for Higgins was walk by Scott and went, boo! He's picking on me. What I'm telling y'all is right.
That looked great on the video.
I know. Thank you, by the way. I appreciate that. That'll be really good for the replay. They just cry, baby. I mean, little Scott, don't pick on little Scott. See, little Scotty's never been in the big leagues. He's always played little league. You know, he ran for a parish president. He became the public service commissioner. They gave him the lieutenant governor job. They gave him the natural resource job. They changed him from Democrat to Republican. It was easy. He got in the big leagues and got his rear end slammed last time. Well, the elite said, 19%. Very impressive showing, Scotty. Come here, Scotty. Sit on my lap. Patted Scotty, and you're such a great kid, Scotty. Just a great man. Just, you do so wonderful. We're going to run you for Congress. And then what we're going to do is after you win Congress and get reelected for Congress, you're going to run for governor against the same guy you helped get elected. Get on my knees, Scotty. And then Higgins came along and went, not even Higgins. A Pat comes along and goes, hey, Scotty. Hey, boo. He goes running back and crying. He's the one did all the negative advertisement. Every nasty ad been run in the 3rd Congressional District has been paid for by Angel or PAC. And one of the stories was made up on his child support stuff. Totally made up. Totally filed after he got in a runoff when the lady had 11 years to do it. She didn't do it because of all the Timmy Tebow and the way he runs campaigns. And little Scotty may win the election. Who am I to say? He got all the money. He got all the elitists behind him. But the thing that equalizes on election day is the elitist has one vote, just like me, an old country boy like me. One vote. All right, Brandon, one call. We need to, okay. Let's go to Paul in Lake Charles. Paul, how you doing? I hope you're enjoying my crying today.
Yeah, I was about to fall asleep, to be honest with you.
I appreciate that. You really hurt my feelings. I'm gonna start crying because you did.
You know why I say that is because I really hope that after this election that's the last one for Walker. I'm just burnt out on elections. Burnt out.
I got to tell you, brother. You think you are? Listen to me. If we had closed primaries, we would already be finished with all this.
What I really call to tell you though is I don't believe that. The people are listening to the rhetoric of Angel. I really think that they're going to vote Higgins. I think they associate Higgins with Trump and him with Hillary.
They do.
I mean, at least I do.
I said that from day one. That's how you ought to associate this. Wouldn't you like to know if little Scotty would let you know how he vote in the Democrat primary back when Hillary ran against Obama? I wonder which one he voted for. I'm just scared. Would he man up and tell us that?
My gut would tell me Democrat all the way.
No. Listen to me. He was a Democrat. He had to vote in the Democrat primary. He either voted for Obama or Hillary. There was nobody else to vote for. That's who he voted for. One of those two.
He's a chameleon. You know, he changes his colors when he needs to.
Yeah. All right, man. Appreciate the call. We got to take a break. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. We'll be right back. Just to close, the polls have tightened for Scott because he spent 151-4 on money of hammering Higgins. That's all he's done. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Moon, don't do it. Don't do it, Moon.
Of wisdom, listen to me. Oh. Now I'm even pointing at myself. Gee whiz. How y'all? Welcome back. You know, folks, I come on this program, and one of the things that intrigued me about the 3rd Congressional District is all the money went to one candidate. All the money. And I've seen polls. And Angel's hammering of Higgins. It's got to take a toll somewhere. I didn't say he would win. But the hammering, and for him to get on the air, cry like a baby that he's being hit. He's outspending the guy 151-4. He's got all the elitists. You know, there's a fundraiser. Mike Michaud's part of it. Little Michaud is part of it. And because Michaud's going to support the most liberal candidate most of the times, and they're raising money. Another $5,400 couple on Wednesday for what? Hadn't it beat on one guy enough? You know, that should go against him. I don't know if it will, because people start, sooner or later they believe. It's frustrating to watch. And so what I do sometimes is I like to even stuff up. And I can't say I can even it up. But, I mean, just think how nasty, how bad does he want this position? And how bad does the elitists, the money people, want him to have this position? Because they put a lot of money in it. And all it's this guy that sits on a board for $380,000 a year doing nothing. I mean, you got to just remember, bought and paid for. And I just wonder if the people in the 3rd Congressional District are going to do what happened in this country with Trump. It's all you got, 30 years of service. You cannot brag about one thing that you've done. Nothing. You can't even tell people what you've done 4 days out from the election. All you can do is smash and bam and smash and bam, and that's all you got. That's all you got. Think about it. 30 years. And the best you got is to run the nastiest commercials and cry about them going boo to you. You know, and that's the things that I get frustrated about. Because I'm looking at it going, you know, it almost ain't fair. This guy's getting away with political murder. He has no record to run on. Slick talking, fast talking. No record. Except buy you corn. No record except I'm going to make Vitter lose so I can put a liberal Democrat in. Running a liberal campaign behind the scenes, on the top running a right-wing campaign. I mean, it's a shame he has a chance to win. But I know politics. I do know it. And sometimes just being nasty, you win. Okay? He's no more qualified to be congressman than I am. I know he's more qualified. He knows how to lie and cry. Let's go to Joyce. Joyce, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Moon. We had a great event last night for Higgins. I mean, we had like 50 or 60 people turn out on short notice, very short notice.
Did y'all charge $5,400 an event per couple?
Actually, it was a free event.
Oh my God! Y'all need to team up. He needs to team up with Scott and get some of that real money from the elitists in his 3rd congressional district and around the state.
I can't afford to go to Scott's events, I swear to God. But let me say this. I do not believe that Scott is going to get away with political murder of Higgins. Several people called me last night when they couldn't attend, and they said, but we're voting for Higgins, and my aunt's voting for Higgins, and my family in Brobridge is voting. And they were giving the whole rundown because they had to make up for not coming out.
Well, listen, there's a reason. There's a reason they started negative. There's a reason they've been as ugly as you can be. Yes. And there's a reason they're still running negative commercials. And now there's a reason I'm putting a smiley face. They picking on me. I didn't vote in the Hillary primary. That's a lie. He did vote in the Hillary primary against Obama.
He did.
I don't know which one he supported, Obama or Hillary, but he supported one of them.
Higgins spoke last night for probably 45 minutes, which is a long time, but it was very interesting. He is well-versed in the Constitution. He knows history. He is a patriot. And he speaks unabashedly about what he is going to do. He never even mentioned, and I'm not going to mention it either because it doesn't bear mentioning, his opponent's name.
Never have
mentioned it.
Never have.
This man is an honorable man, and I pray that he wins. And he is leading by they say 6 to maybe 12, up to 12 points. I'm going to say 6 to 9. I'm conservative. But from we did a poll, as you know, for Louisiana Citizens Action Network. It was unanimous. No one voted for his opponent. I tell you, he is most interesting.
Well, you know what? You saying all that, and by the way, I'm not dissing what you said. Matter of fact, it doesn't surprise me if it was true, because how nasty and evil the Angel people have been, and they cried about Vitter. They cried about David Vitter picked on me so bad, and David Vitter did this, and David Vitter, and then they knifed Vitter, and then when he got in the runoff with all the money and all the name recognition, he did worse. His opponent hadn't even fought back with that. Higgins hadn't even fought back, and I'm just sitting here going, wow.
I think that, you know.
Hold up, Joyce. I'm watching the Victoria's Secret fashion show. That's what Brandon has on.
No, that's what Fox News has on.
Fox News has it on. And they popped it on, and I looked up and went, Joyce, hold on. I can't even hear you. I'm joking, Joyce. Go ahead. Go ahead, Joyce. I'm joking.
No, I can understand.
Well, I'm not. Actually, I'm joking now. I wasn't joking at first, but go ahead.
Well, I lost my train of thought, but I will say this.
And you think you lost your train of thought.
But wait, this man, let me tell you what this man has done. In 7 months, did you know who Higgins was? That was in April. And now everybody knows him. And not only that, my daughter lives in Gonzales. She says, hey, they can't vote for him over here, but they're supporting him, which means he's probably going to get a few checks from there. But he is an humble, I mean, I tell you, so down to earth. And he is not afraid to speak. I love what he says. He says, I don't need to have a focus group to tell me how to feel or what to believe. And he speaks his mind. He's not afraid. And that's what we need in Washington, D.C. So listen, I'm going to tell you, it was a good event last night. It was a great event, and we loved listening to him. I don't know when I've enjoyed listening to somebody for 45 minutes, but it was very interesting. So good job.
All right, Joyce. God bless. Thanks. Appreciate the call. Let me squeeze in another one, at least one more. Lafayette, we go. Marcel. How you doing, Marcel?
Hey, Moon. I'm doing good. So Scott Angel doing his church tour, and a couple of weeks ago, one of my buddies was at mass and likes to sit in the back of the church, and he looked up front and like, man, I think that's Scott Angel. Nah, he's not here today. Well, the priest started walking down the aisle, blessing the parishioners with holy water. All of a sudden, the steam starts rising. He looks again. He said, "Yeah, that's Scott Angel."
Well, no, that's Timmy Teeple. Teeple and them have run it.
He was sitting on the side of him, they're holding hands.
Well, Timmy Teeple runs. That's what he's doing. They running far to the left. The people that are for abortion, the people that are for gay marriage, the people that are for men going in women's bathrooms, but all this leftist stuff, the environmental, all that stuff, they're the ones supporting Angel more than anybody. But on the top, he's running as something else. And it's anyway. When you got the money, though, a lot of times you can frame an election. And we'll see if that happens this time because it's trying to be framed and bought by Angel.
Remember those saying, Moon? Money talks and BS walks. I'm just hoping that all of his money is the flip side. All of his money and all of his BS.
Well, there's a lot. Scott's always been easily bought and persuaded, easily, and that's what's happening now. And I'm just being honest. All right, you may sound like I'm being ugly, Brandon. But I'm being honest. All right, we're going to take a break. More to come. Moon Griffon Show. A lot more to cover. Your calls, all that in the second hour. Hi, y'all. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Hickson has it hotline. Hey, at least Joyce laughed, Brandon, when I told her Victoria's. It really was. I looked up with, holy cow.
I wonder if Tanya was laughing if she heard that.
Well, I mean, it was on TV. Like you said, it was on Fox. I didn't put it on. I just looked up and went, really? So they were just showing the modeling of Victoria's Secret stuff, and and Joyce said Joyce actually had the nerve to tell me you made me lose my place. Really? I know that you've been watching the TV ever since it went off.
Oh, whatever.
You're trying to catch the news, right?
Oh yeah. Whatever. God.
I got to quit enjoying life. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. Have you ever thought about that though? If everybody in the United States had to leave the United States, we had to shut down everything we were doing, every plant, car, no more cows, nothing, and just let it grow up and whatever happens, happens. Do you really think there would never be a hurricane here? That's what you got to ask yourself with these intelligent scientists, by the way, to make their money off you and me. You really research grants, federal government, state government. That's how they make their money. Do you think there'd never be a thunder shower that would be a storm that would be bad? I would say this, if nobody's here, nobody would be flooded. Nobody would be killed. Nobody would be injured. Nobody would lose their home, car, or worldly possessions. Because when it comes, and it would come, and it would come just as whatever hurricanes are going to hit the United States, or ever hit the United States since the world began, that's not going to change. That's not going to change because we can't do anything about it. We can't stop it. The environmental movement was smart in the fact that we wanted plants to, have clean water. We didn't want the dirty air and all that. And we've come so far with technology already, but we still use oil and gas and the things that we used to use, and we still use it. It's just phenomenal to watch them come up with a way to shut our country down. Just totally shut our country down. And that's what man-made global warming is all about. It's only to stop us from living. That's it. There's nothing else. It's only to stop us from growing. By the way, I don't know if y'all caught this or not. Louisiana digging deeper in auto insurance law Louisiana must dig deeper to pay for auto insurance than most U.S. drivers, according to a study. Value Penguins, a pro-consumer financial website. And Lafayette drivers must pay more on average than any other Louisianans. You heard that? We pay more than anybody.
On insurance?
Yep. Car insurance.
Not surprising.
But in our state, we're one of the highest in the country in the amount of money we pay. On average, the New Orleans drivers pay $3,110 annually. Okay, in Lafayette, the cost was $2,327, 14th highest among Louisiana cities, reviewed, and 2% more than the state average. Other insurances include Alexandria, $2,272, Opelousas, $2,245, Monroe, $2,183, Shreveport, $1,859. Depending on where you live in Louisiana, the rate can vary tremendously. So, Michigan has the most expensive state average, but hey, folks, we pay a lot of money for insurance. And my question would be, why? Why do you think we pay so much more? Now, some people say we got a poor state with a lot of poor people. We got a lot of people who don't pay insurance that's driving around there wrecking people. And so guess what happens to us? We got to pay the extra. So my question is, how do we change that? How do we change to where we're not the highest? And it's a requirement. You have to have vehicle insurance, especially liability. I don't think you have to carry anything on your car if you don't want to, but you got to at least have liability in case you hit somebody. But how many people out there like y'all, it's happened to us at least 3 times, but we being hit. I'm not talking about when I get hit, Brandon. I got to keep insurance because I've hit enough. But when we get hit, man, several times they didn't have any insurance. None, zero, zilch. And we had to pay for it. Oh, they'll get them in court, but man, I just don't know about that. It drags on so long, I don't think we ever saw a penny of it. And if we did, I don't remember getting a check. I have to ask my wife if she got the check. I'm just kind of curious. 844-766-6607. Dan in Keithville. How you doing, Dan?
Oh, pretty good. Just had a couple questions for you.
Yeah.
I'm so tired after the presidential race that I hadn't been following the race as much, and I was wondering your opinion about the Kennedy-Campbell race. Kennedy. And Kennedy.
No doubt. I mean, Bananas Foster would be anti-gas, all in gas. He's anti-middle-class job. He's pro-Obama. He's pro-Obamacare. I mean, look at his record. And it's scary enough to think. I mean, he would be up there fighting against our own people. By the way, he runs an ad saying he's a pro-life guy, but he's in a party that's pro-death. The Democrat Party is that's a pro-abortion, pro-kill babies anytime you can.
Well, I heard he's got a lot of out of the state support coming in and funds coming in, and I'm kind of curious. Does it boil down to just the turnout, because it's probably not going to be a very attended election day.
To be honest with you, it's all about turnout. If the Trump people who went out overwhelmingly and put him over will go out and vote, then it will be over. If they stay at home and think it's already over, anything can happen. You got to go vote.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, appreciate the call. By the way, we don't endorse candidates on this program too much. I'm just letting you know. It's hard to figure out who I'm voting for. I'm just telling you. Because I have the most nonpartisan, non-political show on air today by far. By far the most nonpartisan, non-political show right here on the Moon Griffon Show. Let's, shoot, Brandon. Who we got on, Brandon? I don't even know, man. You got me laughing over here so much. I don't even know.
Ron from Crowley.
All right, Ron from the big Crowley, Louisiana. Right,
apparently not.
Apparently not. People are going to ask me. I don't mind telling them. I mean, Bananas Foster would be a setback of 40 years. It's the old Democrat. He's an old Democrat with new Democrat politics. Remember, he thinks man-made global warming. We got it. Well, he got it. I heard him say it. Yeah, I like his articulate part about how we got it, but he doesn't explain how we got it. Then he's running commercials how he hates the oil and gas industry, which, by the way, made millions. He's also, I think, has cows, and we find out in California, cow manure, cow farts are putting out too much methane, and they're causing man-made global warming. I just wish somebody would ask him, how do you stop hurricanes, tornadoes, and thunderstorms? And he keeps talking about this 500-year flood. Nobody was built them houses 500 years ago. So how do you know what flood? There may have been a flood 500 years ago right on that spot that like you've never seen. Okay? But there was not diversions of the rivers. There was not a diversion of the Mississippi River. You didn't have an interstate system. You didn't have people building up all around where the water had no place to go. There wasn't a man-made wall that pushed water back. But you can make a comment like that. 500 years ago, I don't think anybody was living in those places. Maybe I'm wrong, Brandon. You know if anybody was living there 500 years ago? You know of anybody that knew somebody that was living there 500 years ago?
No.
Okay, not? Okay. I'm just kind of curious. I mean, we weren't even a country 500 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? I don't know. But to keep saying that kind of stuff is ludicrous. But this is what we're fighting, folks. The global warming movement is about controlling your life and the prosperity you have a chance to have in the name of global, man-made global warming. And the thing about it is man has helped enhance this planet. It's helped enhance it. It's been enhanced. We have learned how to grow trees. We learned fruits and vegetables. We learned how to grow shrubs. We learned how to grow the biggest trees you can grow in the world. We learn how to plant them. And some of these trees that take 20, 30, 50, whatever years to really, really grow, we've learned how to do that. We do that anytime we want to. And we are doing it. People plant trees and stuff every day. Okay? And so we are able to plant. We're able to put the things that we need to put. We're able to raise cow and chickens. And, boy, they taste so good. To you vegetarians, I love them. I love eating me some chicken and shrimp and all that stuff. And the oil and gas industry, all is biodegradable. The ocean eats it up for the most part. It really does when they have spills and stuff like that. Now, a massive spill that can get to the coast is never going to be good. No, I'm not saying it is. And if anybody made a mistake, they should clean that part of it up, no doubt about it. But to sit here and tell us that our whole way of doing things down is evaporating because of man-made global warming, you're sick. If you talk about the diversion of the Mississippi River, yeah, I'd agree with that. But not the coast, not the oil and gas industry. They didn't do anything. They enhanced our country, our state, and many, many Louisiana families and American families. And I don't know why Bananas Foster don't want those people to have those jobs. I want them to have those good paying jobs. 844-766-6607. Hickson has that hotline if you'd like to be part of the program. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show.
Well, Moon would be on the air right now, but he's down the hall talking with somebody very important. That's actually somebody very important.
Well, I mean, he took my time. What can I say? I was hard to get away from that one, all right? I'm just going to say it was. 844-766-6607. Hickson has that hotline. Brandon was throwing stuff at the window, and I don't like to do that. I really don't like coming back late like that. The question is, why do I always do it?
Yeah, no, I ask that question every day.
But I did. Just by talking to somebody in the know, and they did bring up the fact that how in the world can Angel and them base their campaign off a lawsuit from an ex-wife who didn't file a lawsuit until after Higgins gets in a runoff? People ought to just cringe at that. Even Angel people ought to go, I've had enough of this. How many of them I told you, Brandon, they ate me up, talking about, Vitter picked on him, Vitter picked on him. Okay? Vitter ain't doing no picking on him right now. He's doing all the picking, and it ain't his nose or his britches. It's against Higgins. And it's just a shame. It's just what's going on. 844-766-6607. Brandon, I didn't get the names. You're going to have to give me and put them up.
Well, first off, we got Joey from Abbeville.
All right, Joey.
Online.
Joey, how you doing?
Hey, good morning, Moon. Great. And you?
Doing fine, sir. Doing fine.
When they take that big steel drill bit and they drill it down into the ground and they hit that pocket of stuff they call natural gas, why don't they call it organic gas or organic oil or natural oil? I mean, it's naturally occurring in the ground, and it's made up of dead plants and animals and all kind of other things that naturally occurred a long time before we were ever here.
Because they're not going to do that. The goal is not to give, you're right, all that stuff's natural. All God-made comes from the land. First of all, they're never going to acknowledge Jesus Christ and God because that's not who they are. This is their God. Global warming is their God. Number two, you make a great point where it comes from. But number three is they can't control your life if we're going to have the free flow of oil. They can't control your life. They can't control. They want everybody to be a vegetarian, eat 2 meals a day, and drink some damn seed water or seaweed water, whatever you want to call it. They really do. People think that I'm wrong, but I'm right. This is all they want. It's all control, Joey. It's a control thing of controllers people's lives. And cheap oil is one of the things, the energy that produces. It's awesome product. We got it in our shirts and our clothes, and just about everything you have is got a little oil product in it.
They sure don't have a problem going look for natural gold, natural silver, and natural diamond.
That's a good point.
Think about it. That's out the ground, too, but they don't have a problem digging that up.
They don't even like natural gas. And we got enough natural gas probably to go 400 more years, just in natural gas.
Go cut your grass and put it in a black trash bag and come back a week later and see if you ain't got something naturally occurring in that bag. I promise you, it'll burn.
I'll guarantee you. Well, and by the way, the grass that you just cut, it grows back.
That's right.
That's what the earth does. It reproduces itself over and over and over again. And they can move around and find these hot spots with oil. I think they just, what did they just find in Texas? $900 billion find of oil in Texas, something like that.
Barrels, yeah. It's
just
some ungodly amount.
Oh, the last, I think they said 20 or 30 years, just that. And you got Al Gore and Bananas Foster and these other people telling us that we need to shut this down. I'm telling you, man. And then they're going to tell us what the weather's going to be like in the year 2100. When I told you we got kicked out of 2 baseball games this year and they missed the weather in just a matter of hours.
Yep.
So,
it's sad, Moon. It's sad.
But if people,
the sheep are following them.
I know, but if you got people buying it, it's fairly young people, people coming along that keep reading all this stuff and really believe it.
They got that disease, SFB.
What's that?
Something for brains. That's all they got. They ain't got brains. They got SFB disease, and they just follow them.
Yeah, ain't no doubt. All right, brother. Appreciate the call. All right, 844-766-6607. Jason in Shreveport. How you doing, Jason?
I'm doing great, Moon. I want to talk about an intentional act by the government to withhold federal dollars from states, especially Louisiana, to dredge out the river, like the Red River, for instance.
Yeah.
Since they finished locking down number 5. When I first moved here in '90, it was a creek. The Red River was a creek. Mm-hmm. And in 1995, they finished locking down number 5. Now, since then, there's been 150,000 truckloads of sand dumped into the river that has not drained through.
Why? What are they doing with the sand? What is that? What was the purpose of it?
What happens, Moon? It's called planet Earth. It's not global warming.
Yeah.
The Red River comes from north and it flows south.
Sure.
The first dam to hold back the water is locking down number 5.
Mm-hmm.
So that stops the sand from flowing downstream, down to the Mississippi, out into the ocean.
Okay.
So locking down number 5 is actually a true stopper in the drain.
Okay.
Where the sand is backing up. Now, we need Captain Shreve up here to clear the sand out because it's actually raised the level of the Red River about 10, 15 feet.
Dang.
Every time we get a small rain up here in west Louisiana, areas that have never flooded flood.
And then they turn around and blame it on the weather because we're driving vehicles and raising cows.
They're blaming it on that, but the truth is, the Corps of Engineers, they built all 5 locking downs.
Yep.
The government knew what was going to happen. When the liberal Democrats took over, they said, hey, we can use this as one of the excuses for global warming. But the fact is, our river's filling up with sand by the day, and it won't be long before Shreveport, Halton, Bossier City, all of it is underwater. And then they'll say, it's because of global warming.
Yep.
No, it's because the Red River is full of sand.
Well, listen, I'll give you an example that happens further south than you. We diverted the Mississippi River, its natural flow, to the coast, which would have kept our coast very well protected and lively as can be. And then they blame that on man-made global warming when we lose some of the coast. Same thing. Corps engineers. Whoo, I wish CB was still here. I'll let him explain them. We got to go. God bless.